My name is Jabulile Mashwama. I'm the Minister for Commerce, Industry and Trade in the Kingdom of Swaziland. My ministry is particularly involved with working with small and medium enterprises in ensuring that their businesses are robust and sustainable, and also in capacitating them. In fact, 70 or 80% of the work that we are accountable for is trying to lift the small and medium enterprises to the next level. So our role and our role with SWIFT and ABW is ensuring that our stakeholders, which are our small and medium enterprises, are exposed and are connected to the appropriate vehicles that would help their businesses to be sustainable. Swaziland in particular has got a lot of craft ladies whose standard of living is primarily dependent on handicraft work. So the handicraft work that is done in Swaziland will be a big part of this coming symposium, and we are glad to be a part of it as a ministry. Yeah. Hey, I'm very excited that we are going to be having this great summit next year, Africa Business Women Connect. And it's particularly exciting for me that Swaziland will be a big part of it, and that SWIFT Swaziland will be partnering with ABW in the summit. The summit endeavors to expose the work that African women do, and also to give them opportunities for training and opportunities for business development, which I think in my work in the ministry have realized that some of the key impediments to growth for the business women in Africa are that they have not got sufficient capacity in knowledge, business knowledge, and sufficient capacity in terms of access to finance. This symposium will bring them the markets as well that they so need for the products that they produce. So a combination of all of those will definitely ensure that the products that the African women produce throughout Africa are going to be exposed, and they're going to get them the finance or the entrepreneurship that they need out of the work that they do. It is not a hidden secret, but it is known that women in Africa are actually most often the breadwinners of their homes. And women businesses are probably the most productive businesses, and this has been studied. In fact, in economics, when you study the supply and demand and understand what are some of the supply shifters, one of them is if you hire women, they are much more productive. So by giving them exposure through this symposium, we're ensuring that businesses overall in Africa are going to be lifted one step higher, and therefore our economies in Africa will grow as the women's businesses grow. For us in Swaziland in particular, we are an agro-based country, and our rural women particularly do great craft work. So the handicraft work that they do needs exposure, and it needs the markets. So by participating in this symposium, we will get the markets for the women's great handicraft work that they do. We will get agribusiness lifted to a higher level in the country, and the women will be able to make real business from the things that they seem to do as a hobby at the moment. We want them to take them a level higher and do them as a business, so that the economy will rise and poverty will be reduced in our nations. So this is a great initiative indeed, and we're excited and looking forward to it as a nation.
Lovely.
In my experience and my exposure in the ministry and understanding how small and medium enterprises are operating, one of the key barriers that we've identified is the area of in capacity in many areas. First of all, capacity in terms of being able to have access to finance, but capacity in also being able to run sustainable businesses. The other thing is capacity in terms of knowledge, understanding your markets and knowing what your market needs, and ensuring that you are supplying your markets, and being productive as well, in terms of making sure that what you're doing it efficiently, so that it attracts the required finance, because what you produce, you must produce to the levels that someone will be willing to buy at a value that is reasonable. So if you're not producing it efficiently, it will be too expensive, and it will not attract buyers. So this symposium is going to be able to address all of those areas of capacity that I'm talking about. Firstly, it will ensure that they have access to finance, they have access to markets, but most importantly, they'll have access to technology, where they will be able to understand what technologies are available to make their work much easier, their work much more efficient and much more productive. So that's a great capacity gap that we have here in our nation, and our businesses will thrive, I'm sure 100-fold, when they've been able to see the things that would reduce the things that cause their business to production processes to be that much slower. So I'm excited about that, and I'm sure that we're going to be able to, to benefit a lot from that. And then in terms of markets, we're bringing all the buyers from all over the world. They are going to make connections. They're going to make, contacts that will be able to show them, one, what does the market want, so that they produce market-relevant product and not just produce products because they are producing product. They've been producing it all this while. It's important for them to understand that markets are dynamics and the needs of markets change. So through this exposure, they'll be able to shape what they produce to meet the needs of the current market demands. Well, we're very excited that this event is actually starting off as a Pan-African event for the sole reason that, one, in our region, many times you find that you think in a particular way and you are not exposed to what the wider market wants. Having this as a Pan-African event will ensure that we actually have exposure and understanding of how other areas outside of our region are operating. As we know, the world is one big global market. It's not just a market, just connected with the people that are around your region. Particularly for our products in Swaziland, we know that we've got a great, a demand coming outside of our region. Therefore, it's important for us to be able to connect with buyers that are outside of our region to understand how they operate, so that we can ensure that we are relevant. So having this Pan-African summit will assist us to understand how others have broken barriers to trade in other regions, because we are probably addressing them in one particular way in our region, but understanding and connecting with other regions will assist us to see how barriers will be broken. And additionally, we believe that we will also contribute to the wider Pan-African community in sharing what our great successes have been with other economic groupings outside of our region, and therefore making Africa overall, a better place to live in, because Africa, it is about, the entire universe. It is how we can be successful if we make everyone else successful. So we believe that we will contribute and we will also get from, the wider spectra of this summit.